Amici, buongiorno, eccoci qui per un'altra puntata, un altro video di divulgazione e interazione reciproca. Allora, oggi parleremo degli abduction, sì, le adduzioni. Sappiamo che è tutto vero. Signori, amici, ve lo dice un'entità proveniente dal pianeta stella Siriob. Ripeto sempre, è importante ricordare, lo definisco pianeta, in realtà Siriob è una stella. Io la definisco un pianeta soltanto per una comodità divulgativa, perché voi umani terrestri non accettate la possibilità che su una stella possa esserci la vita. E invece, amici, esiste. Con tutto ciò, eccoci ad un tema fondamentale e importantissimo, le adduzioni. Come detto, è tutto reale, è tutto vero. Sappiamo dei famosissimi casi italiani come ad esempio Valerio Lonzi o lo stesso Zanfretta. Anzi, vi consiglio di guardare un video su Zanfretta, una interessante intervista, rara intervista, realizzata dalla Rai. Detto questo, signori, è uno dei casi più famosi probabilmente, quello di Travis Walton. Sì, un boscaiolo che venne rapito molti anni fa da una navicella che lo portò all'interno, lo fece sdraiare su un lettino freddo metallico e lui riuscì a svegliarsi e vide attorno a sé cose particolari, cose assolutamente paurose. Amici, è una delle adduzioni più misteriose. Allora, gli alieni che effettuano adduzioni, ripeto, ci sono, è tutto vero. Ci sono diversi alieni che lo fanno per effettuare sperimentazioni sull'umano. Altre razze aliene lo fanno per approfondire l'essere umano. Altre razze aliene lo fanno per implementare attraverso circuiti, microchip e altri strumenti il corpo umano per sondarne le sue caratteristiche o più semplicemente per parassitarlo. È tutto vero, oltre ad altre ragioni che non posso dirvi. Almeno non adesso. Amici, adesso vi rilascio ad un'intervista, anzi ad uno speciale, proprio su Travis Walton, dal titolo Misteri irrisolti, mandato in onda qualche anno fa dalle reti americane. Signori, guardate l'intervista, ascoltate cosa dice Travis Walton. Io lo confermo, è tutto vero. Amici, un saluto da un'entità che proviene dal pianeta stella Siriob. Amici, ci vediamo per un prossimo video. A presto!
This morning, the first in a new series of unexplained mysteries. It was a cold November evening in 1975 when Travis Walton and a crew of 6 others were returning from working in the White Mountains of Arizona. What happened on their way home has become one of the best documented claims of alien abduction and a mystery that has remained unsolved to this day. On film, they can be evil, friendly,
E.T.
or ready for a fight. In the 90s movie Fire in the Sky, aliens abduct a logger from Snowflake, Arizona, while the other crew members look on.
Travis, get out of there!
But this was no fictional close encounter for Travis Walton. The movie is based on his personal story. What's it like for you to come back to these woods where, right off the road where the incident happened?
Well, you know, it seems like just yesterday, you know, in a way. A lot of those memories just are so burned into my mind.
So tell me what happened that night.
We worked till almost dark, and we loaded up our equipment. We're headed out of there. And there's 7 of us in the truck. We're driving along, and we hadn't gone very far. And we saw this glow coming through the trees, and we saw this object hovering there, and it was unmistakable.
Illustrations based on Travis's description show the object that made the crew stop in their tracks. Travis was the only one to get out of the truck for a closer look.
As soon as I straightened up, bam! I just felt this shock. It was kind of like an electric shock, actually. But I just blacked out.
The 6 other crew members witnessed the abduction. John Goulet was one of them.
To be back out here again like this, that makes me kind of scared now.
And you said you saw Travis lifted up in it.
When I turned my head, he was crouched down like this, and when I looked back, he was kind of spread out.
Fearing for their own lives, the men fled. They returned to the site later that night to find no sign of Travis. A massive search and investigation followed.
When he didn't show up after the first 2 or 3 days, we scheduled polygraph examinations for the other individuals that were in the work crew, and they all passed.
So while this was going on, what was happening to you? Where were you? What are your memories of how you spent those 5 days?
My first memory after blacking out was I was regaining consciousness very slowly. The instant that I saw these creatures and realized where I was, I just went crazy with fear. They had these huge eyes that just seemed to look right into me in this really unbearable way.
How did you know it was real and not a dream?
You know, they say pinch yourself. Well, I was feeling a lot more pain than that. So, yeah, it was very real.
5 days later, Travis returned. And then you woke up where?
I woke up, I was lying face down out of doors. I could recognize this piece of highway as being outside of Hebrew. You know, I ran down in here and it took all the strength I had left to make it to these phone booths.
Travis's incredible explanation gained media attention far from the small town of Snowflake, but not everyone believed his story.
They were treated very badly. A lot of people made fun of Travis and the whole crew.
UFO sightings and stories of alien abductions often do not have enough evidence to convince scientists like astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Travis, among many, have described alien encounters, and in principle, I don't have a problem with that. What I need, however, is something more than your eyewitness testimony.
Does it bother you that people don't believe you?
It used to bother me a lot more. Anymore, you know, I think the record speaks for itself.
Has this event, this single event that happened when you were 22, defined your life?
Yeah, it defined my life for me, regrettably. If I had it to do over again, I'd never get out of the truck. I'd rather it never happened.